He spent 78 years thinking he had no one. But one envelope, one test, and one little girl changed everything. Would you open a letter that could rewrite your entire past? Stick around, this one's going to touch your heart. Let us know, have you ever taken a DNA test? What would you do if it revealed a hidden family? Comment below. And tell us, where are you watching from today? In a quiet, pine-shaded town in northern Michigan, Henry Whitmore lived in a weathered house at the edge of the woods. The kind of house with chipped blue paint, wind chimes that hadn't sung in years, and a porch swing that groaned like it remembered something painful. He was 78, retired, alone. Folks at the local diner knew him as Old Man Henry. The post office clerk knew he liked exact change. The neighbor's dog barked when he came outside. But no one truly knew him. Not where he came from. Not who he loved. Not who he lost. He kept a photograph in a rusted biscuit tin. A woman, smiling, holding something small in her arms. He never showed it to anyone. He just looked at it when the world got too quiet. It was a Thursday. The kind of day where the wind whispered like it knew a secret. Henry checked his mail like he always did, slow, deliberate. Just a habit. Among bills and flyers was a small white envelope. Heritage Root DNA, test results enclosed. He blinked. He had taken the test 4 months ago. Not out of curiosity. Out of something deeper. Something like guilt. Something like hope. Inside the envelope was a letter. Dear Mr. Whitmore, your DNA has matched with a living relative. Connection, granddaughter. Match confidence, 99.9%. Would you like to contact your match? Henry sat on his porch swing, the letter in hand, knees trembling slightly. The woods behind him were quiet. Too quiet. He hadn't always been alone. In 1971, after returning from Vietnam, Henry was just 24 and angry at the world. The war had eaten something inside him. He didn't talk much. Didn't sleep much. Then he met Marianne. A woman who smiled like she didn't know how cruel the world could be. She worked at the library. Talked fast. Smelled like cinnamon and ink. And somehow, she saw him. They were together only 8 months. But in those 8 months, Henry felt human again. Until she said, I'm pregnant. And Henry did what so many broken men did. He ran. He left a note. He didn't even pack a bag. He told himself it was to protect them. But deep down, he just didn't think he was worth staying for. Now, nearly 5 decades later, someone was reaching back. Jessica Malone, 34. Elementary school teacher. Lived in Grand Rapids. Had a daughter. Emily, age 6. Henry stared at the name. Jessica. His granddaughter. The idea felt unreal. Like trying to touch a memory that wasn't yours. He held the biscuit tin. Opened it. The photo. Marianne, younger than he remembered, holding a baby girl. A note on the back in faded ink. Her name is Jessica. Be better than you were. Henry wrote a letter. Dear Jessica. I don't know what to say. I left before I should have stayed. I won't make excuses. I'm not writing to be forgiven. I'm writing because a piece of me always wondered if that child was okay. If you want to meet me, I would like that. If not, I understand. Henry Whitmore. He included the photo. And waited. A week later, a letter arrived. It smelled faintly of lavender and coffee. Dear Henry, my mother passed away 10 years ago. She never said your name. Only that you were young, scared, and lost. She told me, if someone ever comes looking for you, listen. Not everyone gets to be heard. So I'm listening. I'd like to meet you. Jessica. Henry cried. Not loudly. Just the kind of tears that fall slowly when silence finally breaks. Jessica and Emily arrived by train on a cloudy Saturday. Emily had freckles and carried a backpack with glittery dinosaurs. Jessica looked exactly like Marianne. Same smile. Same strength. Henry stood at the platform in a pressed flannel shirt he hadn't worn in years. When Emily saw him, she ran up and said, Are you the man with the swing on the porch? Henry laughed softly. Yeah, I guess I am. Jessica watched him. Not with judgment, but with curiosity. That night they sat on the porch swing. 3 generations. And the wind finally sang through the chimes again. Jessica brought a worn leather journal. Mom wrote this. It's mostly letters. To you. To me. To the daughter she hoped I'd become. Henry opened it with reverence. One line hit him hardest. Henry wasn't weak. He was just broken. I loved him anyway. Henry closed the journal and held it to his chest. Behind his house, Henry had a small garden. Just tomatoes, beans, a few wildflowers. He called it the place where things still try. Jessica and Emily helped him weed and water. One day Emily shouted, "Grandpa, there's a box in the dirt." It was rusted, dented. Inside, a letter from Mary Ann, dated 1983. "If you find this, Henry, tell her I never stopped loving her. And I never stopped loving you." Henry read it aloud, voice cracking. Jessica held his hand. "Thank you, for trying again." Henry passed away quietly in his sleep a year later. There was no pain, just peace. Jessica buried him under the willow tree by the garden. Emily placed a hand-drawn flower on his casket. "For Grandpa, the man who made things grow again." At the funeral, Jessica read from the journal. "He didn't die alone. He died with a family." Henry's house still stands. Now with children's laughter, garden beds full of color, and wind chimes that never stop singing. And inside the living room, a photo hangs above the fireplace. Mary Ann, Jessica, Emily, and Henry, smiling, together. At last,